This week on Ethan's Elizabethan Case Studies, we look at one of the most well-known suicides in the world, Romeo and Juliet's. Although written in the 1500s, the play actually takes place all the way back during the 1300s. The story goes that two lovers find themselves in a pickle because their families are basically at war. This and a lot of other factors lead to the death of our two teenage lovers. So why is their love so important? Well, to start off, their love is more than a love story between two teens. It is a way to bring the Capulets and Montagues together, almost like a peace treaty. It was one, if not the only chance to bring peace to Verona, making it a huge deal. So moving on. What could have led to our two innocent teenagers' deaths? The first suspected cause as to what might have led to their suicides is their forbidden marriage. The Montagues and Capulets had been at war for as long as we know, creating tension between the families, and most definitely banning the marriage of a Capulet and Montague. This was a big deal since Romeo was Montague and Juliet a Capulet, meaning their families would not approve. Ignoring this, the two lovers get married in secret, going against society and their families. However, keeping their marriage secret, not being able to meet each other in public, and letting their families down clearly put them under immense stress and pressure. Their hormonal and young mind and bodies could not take it, causing them to take extreme measures, such as taking a sleeping potion, drinking poison, or stabbing themselves with a dagger. A second factor that could be the possible reason for their suicides is the lack of love from the two lovers' own family. It makes you wonder if they even care about their children. For example, Capulet, Juliet's father, tells her that she will be marrying Paris on Thursday. Her response to this is, "I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed." Now, a normal parent would most definitely try to nicely talk them into it, if not apologize. However, Capulet threatens to disown Juliet, his own daughter, if she refuses to do as he says. Here's actual footage of it going down.
How? Chopped logic! What is this proud? And I thank you not, and yet not proud. Mistress Minion, you thank me no thanks, nor proud me no proud, but fill your joints against Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church. Or I will drag you on a hurdle thither. Out! You dream Sigatarian! Out, you baggage, you tallow face!
Hi, what are you, mad?
Now some may say that Capulet was being extra by kicking Juliet out because she refused an arranged marriage. But you have to keep in mind that this play took place in the Elizabethan era. Capulet, as the head of the family, had almost absolute power over his family and what they did because males had absolute power and rule over their wife and children. Moreover, the sole purpose of high-class women like Juliet during the Elizabethan era was to be beautiful for others to enjoy, get married to a rich man, get pregnant, and listen to what their father or husband said. But still, kicking your own daughter to the curb is downright unacceptable, and for Juliet, something she committed suicide for, which leads me to my next point. Another reason as to why Romeo and Juliet might have killed themselves is because of society during their time. Families and how people were treated in the Elizabethan times were very different from today. Like I mentioned before, in Elizabethan times, the father was always right, and they had absolute power over their wife and children. Women were also expected to be beautiful for others to enjoy, get married to a rich man, get pregnant, and listen to what their father or husband said. On top of that, Romeo and Juliet were both just teens, meaning they had no rights and were expected to do what their fathers told them to. So, marrying against their family's wills, they were not just going against their family, but the whole world and society instead. Now, this isn't easy. It takes a lot of bravery, courage, and motivation to go against such a big group of people, which Romeo and Juliet clearly did not have, causing them to crumble and succumb to the pressure. Last but not least, the most obvious and in my opinion, the reason why Romeo and Juliet committed suicide is because of love and how it can drive people crazy. Romeo and Juliet were in love, which can be defined as an intense feeling of deep affection. But not just any love. They were madly in love with each other. They were so in love that Romeo even offers to stay with Juliet if it makes her happy, even if they take him and kill him after he gets exiled. This goes to prove just how attached they were. It also shows how far they were willing to go for each other, which is where the trouble starts. When Romeo is exiled from Verona, Juliet cannot bear the thought of living without him and drinks a potion to make it seem like she was dead. Romeo hears that Juliet has died and drinks poison at Juliet's tomb without thinking twice, and when Juliet wakes up to Romeo's corpse, she stabs herself. If the two were not so blinded by love, they might have grieved over their lover's death and gotten over them sooner or later. This, and the fact that this love story took place in less than 4 days, tells us another thing about love. Love can be great, but it never lasts. So who or what is truly responsible for Romeo and Juliet's death? There are many people or events to blame, but personally, I believe that their strong love for each other is what leads to their death. If their love had not been so strong, they would not have ended up committing suicide for each other. However, this is only my opinion, and there are so many different possibilities as to why these two teens committed suicide. So my question to you is, what do you think caused Romeo and Juliet to commit suicide?